رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعل لي وزيرا من أهلي. السلام عليكم. Three items uh, on which Pakistani households spend wastefully. The first item, cigarettes. We waste our health. Obviously, the secret manufacturer has drawn this weird, very disgusting picture on the box itself. Even the manufacturer agrees that you're wasting your health. Then you smell bad. You have to go away from the people to smoke, and then when you have to come back, you have to cover up the smell, and then it also affects your relationships, and you lose time because you have to go away to take cigarettes and then come back, and sometimes you affect others as well with their time. So basically, smoking is harmful on all levels: physically, your aroma, your time, your money, the money you're spending to waste all of these things, your relationships, uh, everything. You're wasting everything, and this is not just cigarettes. Cigarettes are a representation of all those things upon which you waste your money, your time, your effort, and those are harmful for you, such as vapes and drugs, etc. Right. The second item on which Pakistani households, and of course anyone else as well, but I'm particularly talking here about the Pakistanis. The second item being shaving accessories. Right. In Hadith 2757 of Tirmidhi, the Prophet ﷺ has declared keeping the beards or leaving the beards as part of natural disposition, fitrah, right, of human beings. So what happens is when we shave our beard, we're removing, when we clean shave, we remove part of our natural disposition of being a man, right? We why would we want to become? Why would we want to have a face resembling that of a woman when God has given us a natural manly face, right? The beard shows us, it shows the man's maturity, his manliness, his wisdom, right? And people spend so much money on shaving accessories, shaving creams, and shaving God knows aftershaves and whatnot, right? And then this also spend a lot of time, shaving their entire face off, right? And of course, ultimately, they're moving away from the natural disposition they were created in. The third item, and this might be a bit weird for you to hear, and that is tea. Tea, yes, tea. The way it's specifically made in the Pakistani households, right, with milk and all the accessories and the tea biscuits, right? But it's a waste of money because you've got these. When you go shopping, you don't just buy the tea bags, the teas, the tea cups, the saucers, the tea biscuits, the sugar, and whatnot, everything that comes along with it, right? And then it's not just, the problem is not just the tea, and it's the amount of time you spend, and some people who drink it several times a day, the amount of time, whoever makes it, for example, if the women of the household make tea, the amount of time they spend making tea, instead they could have used that time productively elsewhere, right? And then it's not just the time that the women waste, but also the time people waste in the name of having a cup of tea, the small talks that become long talks, having, let's talk over a cup of tea, and that talk then goes on for hours and hours, right? The time they waste. And again, uh, and it's not only the time, it's also the health, right? If you're just addicted to tea and you don't want anything else but tea, and you keep drinking tea for years and years, you miss out on other drinks, right? Other options you have, fruit juices, drinks, coffee, milk, right? You might skip on all of those things just because you're addicted to tea. And then this tea is basically what? It's a representation. It's a representation of what? Of all those things that may not be harmful, but they take you away from trying other options out in life, right? Other varieties. For example, if you're addicted to, or if you're just used to eating something specific, and you, because of that, you stop eating other things, other variety of things that are available to you. It may be anything that you're addicted to that stops you from making or taking a change in your life. For example, an old idea, a childhood idea that you never let go of, or an old car that you never want to leave. Anything that wastes your progress, your ability to change and move forward and adapt, right? That's what tea represents. So these three items, cigarettes representing all the harmful things, then shaving accessories, and tea representing a lack of change, all these things pertain to our personal life decisions, right? Because it's easy to blame the governments, and the governments have their own mistakes, but that doesn't mean we start killing ourselves just because we don't have the right governments, right? It would be ideal to have the right Islamic government, or at least a responsible government, but un- until we don't have one, we should not at least we should be responsible for our own personal actions. These are our own personal actions. Nobody's forcing us to shave, or nobody, at least in many cases, right? uh, or nobody's forcing us to drink tea, right? Or uh, uh, perhaps we're taking cigarettes under peer pressure, right? But these are our personal decisions. If we don't take the right personal decisions, what right do we have to blame the governments, right? Because these very personal decisions we take, we influence others by it as well, right? Others are influenced by our decisions as well to take the wrong or the right decisions. They Others take inspiration from us as well. And the governments, the people in the governments are our own people, right? Who are elected from our own people, right? They have the same mindset as those of the people, right? They come from us. And then uh, it's also very much in our hands, right? Because what the government trades, the cigarettes and whatever items the government trades between the countries, or whatever it brings into the country, it depends on what the people are buying. If people will stop buying it, the government will stop importing it, right? It's simple as that. And finally, what I like to say is, I like to give you an example of a wall, just like this wall, right? A wall is a strong structure, but it's weak in the points uh, where the bricks are either broken or there are no bricks, right? And same is the case with this Muslim ummah, Muslim nation, right? This Muslim nation is a strong nation, but the weak points are those individuals that show weakness, specifically when they intentionally show weakness, when they start wasting their time, their energy, their efforts, and their money in the wrong places, right? That is when they become like that weak brick or an empty space, because ummah is strong, but it becomes weak on those points. Of those individuals are the points of weakness of that Muslim nation, right? They make the ummah weak when they take such decisions in their personal lives. And so it's the responsibility of each and every one of us to strengthen this ummah by becoming strong and stop wasting our time, energy, resources, efforts, money, right? And uh, there's a beautiful statement by which I'll finish this video, inspired by Dr. Iqbal, and I'll put it in English, and that is: the fate of a nation rests on their individuals. Every individual is a potential star that can shine its fate. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك.